So, today's Nintendo Direct revealed even more information on the highly anticipated game, Pikmin 3. Today we got a lot of new gameplay footage as well, the story of the game. We didn't get any more Pikmin color reveals, but there's gotta be some reason they changed the color of the 3 from purple to orange. There's gonna be some reason for that, but maybe we'll find out at E3, who knows. And for those of you who don't know, the release date in America is August 4th, so that's awesome. So, the story, which we have gotten some updates on, it focuses on 3 new captains. Alf, Brittany, and Charlie. A, B, C. Haha! Unfortunately, the 4th captain, Captain D, from what we saw originally, apparently he's not going to be in it anymore, and whether or not story mode's going to be multiplayer, also, we don't really know. But, whatever. So, these captains don't come from Hockatate. They actually come from a planet called Kopai. And it's facing some food shortages. People are starving, man. They're starving in the streets. It's like the Black Plague. So, just like the first 2 games that have an accident and just smack into the Pikmin planet, it's like, these tiny people, they need to learn how to drive. I don't know why they can't learn how to drive. Anyways, they get help from the Pikmin, and they find berries, which they need to turn into juice and take the seeds back to their planet. This makes me a bit sad, personally, because we aren't going to be seeing too many unique objects like we did in Pikmin 1 and 2 with the ship parts and the treasures. We're just going to be seeing the same collectibles over and over with, how many fruits can you think of? Cherries, strawberries, pears, apples. There's not that many, really. So, this is really too bad. Anyways, so probably what you're going to have to do is get food for Kopai, but you're also going to have to feed yourself, because at the end of each day it seems that you have to drink some of your own food. So, if this is a replacement to the time limit, that's going to be an awesome idea, because it's mixing the time limit from the first game in that you have to get enough stuff in a day if you want to progress, but also keeping the free roam idea of Pikmin 2, in that you don't have a time limit if you get enough stuff done, which I like that a lot. I think this is probably probably a really, really good implementation of that, if that's what they're doing. Anyways, another thing we see is this berry is hanging from a tree. I don't think we've seen anything like this before in the other Pikmin games, so it'd be cool to see it more, I guess. But the thing is, it seems that this is not an ordinary berry. This is the onion. That's right, the onion, as in singular. From the footage of the base, there's only one spot for an onion to land, and this combined with the fact that both red and rock Pikmin are near it, and yellows also, it makes it look like it's going to be a streamlined approach to the onions. In fact, it even changes color, as you can see, between red and yellow and gray, depending on what Pikmin you have. So, it makes me sad. It's more feasible than having 6 onions. But personally, it makes the base feel empty to me, and I just really enjoyed going up into the air with the onions circling around me. It made me feel like I was progressing, and it was less lonely. But such is life, I suppose. It is definitely a more streamlined way to do it. Also, we knew this, but rock Pikmin can't be crushed. We see this now, where this bug, this Armageddon beetle larva, runs over some Pikmin, and the reds and yellows and blues die, but the rocks just get buried again. So that's pretty cool. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. Also, if you screw up or something, there's now a replay day button, which kind of takes out some of the challenge, because you can basically just play a day, figure out what you're going to do, devise a strategy, you can kill Pikmin as much as you want, and then you can just restart the day and do it correctly. So it's kind of like the caves of the second game, in that you can just reset your game if something really bad happens. So I guess that's okay, and it really takes away a lot of the stress with losing lots of Pikmin and stuff, because the only way to do it was to build up your numbers again, or to just restart the entire game. And the gamepad looks like it's going to be a interactive radar that you can click where the captains can go and see what everything's doing in real time. It looks pretty cool. The last thing I want to point out before ending this video is something scares me a little bit. I want to talk about the areas that the game takes place in. Pikmin 1 had 5 areas, 2 of which were smaller. You know, what are they called? The Impact Site and Final Trial weren't that big levels, but the other 3 were really big. Then in Pikmin 2, they cut that down to 4 levels, but all of the areas were big. And they were based on the same areas from Pikmin 1, but they changed enough things and added new stuff, and it felt fresh. Like the Forest Navel had snow and became the Valley of Repose, and the Impact Site and the Final Trial, they became the Wistful Wild and became fall. So the issue I have is that looks like we're getting the exact same areas as Pikmin 2 without any new ones. Every screen that shown in this trailer can be delegated into one of 4 sections, being the 4 areas of Pikmin 2. Valley of Repose, Awakening Wood, Perplexing Pool, and Wistful Wild. The areas look different and probably still going to be awesome to play, but they haven't added any new areas. Bothers me a little bit. Although from this rainy version of Awakening Wood, or it looks more like Awakening Wood to me, that might mean that we're going to have different kinds of weather, and that would be really, really awesome. Anyways, I've spoken long enough. Pikmin 3 is looking good. Finally have some insight to the story. Some things I'm kind of worried about, like the onions and the areas, but other than that, game looks amazing. Graphics are just, it's amazing. August 4th cannot come soon enough. I've been Technoboy 200. I'm signing out with this whatever, an analysis of Pikmin 3 trailers, and I'll see you guys next time whenever we do other stuff. Bye now.